On February 17, 2025, a routine flight became anything but. Delta Airlines Flight 4819, operated by Endeavour Air, was en route from Minneapolis to Toronto. The aircraft, a Bombardier CRJ-900, carried 76 passengers and 4 crew members. As it approached Toronto Pearson International Airport, a winter storm was brewing. At approximately 2:15 p.m. Eastern Time, the plane touched down. But something was wrong. Instead of smoothly decelerating, the aircraft began to skid. It veered off the runway. Passengers felt a sudden jolt, followed by a terrifying scraping sound. The plane flipped onto its back. One wing, sheared off by the force of the impact, lay mangled on the snow-covered ground. Inside the cabin, chaos reigned. Passengers were thrown from their seats, screams filled the air, luggage tumbled from overhead compartments. Yet, amidst the fear and disorientation, a glimmer of hope emerged. While the crash was severe, there were no immediate signs of fire or explosions. This brief window of opportunity would prove crucial for the survival of everyone on board. Emergency responders, alerted by the airport control tower, were already racing towards the scene. The winter storm that had enveloped Toronto that day played a significant role in the events that unfolded. Strong winds, gusting up to 40 miles per hour, buffeted the aircraft during its descent and landing. Blowing snow reduced visibility, making an already difficult situation even more treacherous. The CRJ-900, while designed to handle challenging weather conditions, faced an extraordinary set of circumstances. The combination of wind shear, a sudden drop in wind speed or change in direction, and the slick runway surface likely contributed to the pilot's struggle to maintain control during landing. The freezing temperatures, hovering around 16.5 degrees Fahrenheit, added another layer of complexity to the emergency response. First responders had to contend with icy conditions as they worked tirelessly to evacuate passengers and assess the situation. The initial moments after the crash were a blur of activity. Emergency crews, arriving within minutes, sprang into action. Firefighters, fearing the worst, quickly extinguished a small fire that had ignited near the wreckage. Paramedics, braving the freezing temperatures, rushed to the aid of the injured. Miraculously, and against all odds, every single person on board Flight 4819 survived the crash. Passengers, some with only minor injuries, emerged from the mangled wreckage, assisted by first responders and fellow travelers. There were tears, hugs, and expressions of disbelief. 18 people sustained injuries, ranging from minor cuts and bruises to more serious trauma. 3 individuals, a child, a man in his 60s, and a woman in her 40s, were initially listed in critical but stable condition. The child, transported to a nearby children's hospital, thankfully recovered well. The coordinated efforts of first responders and medical professionals undoubtedly saved lives that day. Section 4. Voices from the scene. In the aftermath of the crash, stories of courage and resilience emerged. Peter Carlson, a passenger on the flight, described the harrowing experience. The landing was very forceful. We hit the ground hard, and then everything started to spin. Despite finding himself hanging upside down, still strapped in his seat, Carlson remained calm and helped others to safety. Deborah Flint, CEO of the Greater Toronto Airports Authority, expressed relief and gratitude. "We are incredibly thankful that there were no fatalities. This is a testament to the skill of the pilots, the quick response of our emergency crews, and the resilience of the passengers and crew." Delta Airlines CEO Ed Bastian echoed these sentiments, stating, "Our hearts are with those on board the aircraft, and we are committed to providing them with full support." He also commended the professionalism and dedication of the flight crew and first responders. Section 5. The long road to understanding. As the initial shock subsided, attention turned to understanding what caused the crash. The Transportation Safety Board of Canada, the agency responsible for investigating aviation accidents, launched a full investigation. Investigators will analyze the aircraft's flight data recorder and cockpit voice recorder, as well as weather data and air traffic control recordings. This incident, while shocking, highlights the inherent risks associated with air travel, especially during challenging weather conditions. The investigation will likely focus on the interplay of factors that led to the crash, including pilot decision-making, aircraft performance, and the role of wind shear. The findings of the TSB investigation, expected to take several months, will be crucial in preventing similar accidents in the future. For now, the focus remains on supporting the passengers and crew as they recover from this traumatic experience.